This is Rare Media. To whom it concerns, welcome to the panel.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome along to this edition of the panel. Good evening, Mary. Welcome.
Hi.
Good evening, Tony Browne. Welcome.
Good evening to you too.
And I suppose nearly 13 days on now from the storm Eon. There are people still in this neck of the woods. I know comes here without power and without water. Today, the Dáil met for the first time again in 2 weeks. They took 2 weeks off at the critical juncture after reconvening, even though there was a storm. And it's quite obvious to me and to a lot of other people, I'm not alone in this, that we were not prepared for it. Now, some would say you cannot be prepared for something as catastrophic as that. That's acceptable. But it was quite obvious that the ESB networks themselves did not have enough manpower to deal with the outages. There's no doubt about that. And so people today, nearly 2 weeks on, have still no power and no water, which is astonishing in 2025, when you think of it, I know we're okay here in Shannon with water and electricity, but there are parts of County Clare that still don't have power and don't have water, And the response, I think, was poor, Tony. What do you think?
It's very bad. It's amazing really for a country our size that they're unable to cope with it.
Yeah.
They're bringing in foreign crews, which really, to me, is kind of crazy. And the ESB made such a profit last year. I can't imagine an astronomical amount of money.
880 million euro.
And I mean, and they don't. Who's paying for this? Who's going to pay for this? Only the ordinary punters again.
You and me, yeah.
Yeah, there's you more than me, because I get my 25. I get my 125. Although I think everybody got that today. Rich or poor, you still got your 125.
You did, yeah. You did.
But like that, without water is terrible, really.
Yeah.
And parts of Mayo, and I think up around the Connemara, they still haven't water. Which is hard to believe.
The French crews that they brought over, one of the bigger ones were up around Roscommon and Leitrim to begin the work, and they could not believe that there was no accessibility to the power lines to repair them, the ones that were down. They could not believe there were power lines put in the vicinity of huge tall trees, very, very tall trees. And well, you're in Ireland now, you should be, we'd be well used to rubbish going like that,
It's hard to believe this, and people didn't say this about generators. People couldn't get their paws on generators.
Yeah.
Which again was another problem. I had
go on.
Somebody said today that I heard him saying that I think the best thing you could do now is to save up and buy yourself a generator, no matter where you're living, that you won't be cut out again. But I wasn't affected at all by the storm. All they turned over in my place here was a pot plant, was the only thing they turned over. Other than that, we're very lucky because the wind was fairly strong. Although there again, the usual thing is it wasn't as bad as we thought it would be. Everybody says that,
Yeah, but there was generators came in and shipped in one or two of our harbours, and what happened? They were too heavy to be transported by road. But instead of doing the right thing in sailing from, say, Rossdale Harbour right around to Cork Harbour and up to Galway, they left them below idle. I mean, you could not make this up. Should we be surprised at the incompetence of them? Should we be surprised?
But should the European Commissioner for Crisis Management offered support days before this storm?
Absolutely.
Nothing was done for days after it had started. And of course, our Taoiseach...
We get what we deserve. The people get what they deserve. They voted them in. They get what they deserve.
It's true. That is true. I always say that you get the politicians you vote for.
Absolutely.
But people should be able to claim people should be able to claim. I have a friend in Donegal, and she had no electricity at all for days on end. When the government actually failed to reply to the commissioner, the European commissioner, uh, uh, and take them up on the support, then people should be able to claim from the government.
Well, the point about it is this: the CEO of ESP was on Morning Ireland the other morning and said they're not going to give any credit to people. You know, they're not trusting their job. You know,
I heard him this morning
did you?
on the program, and he wasn't even answering the questions. I blame the people doing the interview. They should pin him and say to him, "Will you answer the question I asked you?" You know, they went down waffling. He did about oh God, and I even said his diction was appalling. Who made him CEO of ESP? I wondered.
Well,
And because it's dreadful.
well, look at the government. You get what you have. You know,
Yeah.
and it's the caliber of people you're dealing with. And it's the Dáil was reconvened today. As I said, I was looking at some of the proceedings in the Dáil at 2:30, and to say it was embarrassing was a lot, you know. And I turned it off after 40 minutes. You know, it's something it's something that's not fit for purpose. There's something amiss, something wrong. There's something I cannot put my finger on it. There's something radically wrong in a parliament that is not able to front up about the problem that's there after the storm and discuss it openly and honestly.
They won't do that.
Something,
You know,
there's
we all
something
know that.
very,
They won't do
there's,
it. And still people admire. The one that irks me is he's working very hard. You think they were doing it free when you hear him saying he's working very hard.
I know, yeah.
The only people that work hard are people that are doing it off their own back and not getting paid. They might be
Devon,
working hard. But he works, and 24/7. This American slang has come in 24/7. I never heard of that when I was a child. It's 24/7. Run it by me. Talk to you later. You know what my daughter, I said I will be talking to you till next week. You know, there are all kind of new things. Talk to you later.
do you know what?
Circle
Do you,
back.
do you know
Yeah,
what got me? Do you know what got me altogether was I shouldn't be laughing at people without water. It's a very serious matter. But there were people without water. So then they made a big hullabaloo. They drove these huge big tankers into communities for people to take the water. And they sent out notifications by Wi-Fi and by
oh yeah.
their thing. And people had no electricity now, so they had no Wi-Fi. That this water is not fit for human consumption. Now, if you physically didn't see it on the tanker, you were in serious trouble. I couldn't get over it. I couldn't get over it.
But do you know who missed out very badly? A company in County Limerick now, I thought, out in Ballinity, Ishka. They missed out badly, advertising wise. They should, if they were cute enough, they could have sent up 2 trucks with their name on it, you know, to supplying the water
Oh
from
yeah, yeah.
Ballinity. To be a good stunt for advertising.
Like
But
Brennan's bread did during the last storm when people were actually going out on what you call those roller blades and everything to get their Brennan's bread in,
Looking for
so,
bread.
so that at least they were stocked up in bread for
yeah,
the
but
But
storm.
there were people buying stuff down in Little near me last Friday week. Even one of the staff I was talking to, you think that the shops are going to be closed for a month. The way
yeah,
the people were buying things off shelves.
Toilet rolls.
Oh, it's terrible, it is, you know, and stupid people buying things in like that. And they think the thing isn't going to open anymore. I wouldn't mind if we were told that. But then the shops are open all the time because Lidl never closed. I'm not sure about Dunn's. I don't think Dunn's closed either now.
no,
They were
no,
open,
none of the big shops closed. I saw them open anyway. You know, none of them
yeah.
closed.
And
They
people
might
thought,
never open till 12 o'clock instead of 9, but they were open. They
oh,
were
well, yeah.
open. Yeah,
But
they
like
were
that,
all
people,
open.
a lot of people only looking for an excuse and to take day off work as well. A lot of people, you know, they'd make,
Yeah,
especially if they're after on a Saturday and a Sunday. It's like where people say in shops, have a nice weekend. And when the weekend is it a Friday or Saturday or is it Sunday? How could you have a nice weekend if you're working on a Saturday? You
I,
tell you
I,
have
I,
a nice weekend.
I'm not here around a long time now, but this to me, I mean, they said I never saw anything like it. It's this and this that. It's like the Armageddon. I remember a storm in 1967. 1967. It was appalling altogether, and the winds were as high as the winds we experienced in a storm Eon. And you can look it up, the people who see this program tonight. No, we walked to school in the torrential rain and the wind. The school didn't close, I can tell you that much, didn't close, and the shops stayed open as best they could as well. But there was a thing called resilience then. We had more resilience and appreciation of people. Obviously, you wouldn't expect children and adults to go out in dangerous conditions, if there was danger of
the majority of children have been driven to school anyway. I think about 90% of children have been driven to school and collected from school by car in these SUVs and vans and what you call those kind of GP cars,
Yeah.
I don't actually blame parents now, because it's not like certainly when I was younger. Children aren't entirely safe going to school on their own now, especially long distances.
Well, how long is long distance?
Yeah, how long
Well,
is long
the
distance?
distances, you say that you used to travel to school every day. Long distances, I only had 5. Well, I didn't. When I was going to St Mary's, I had the distance between here and Thomangate. But after that, it was the presentation, so it was only 5 minutes down the road. Some people had to walk in.
We walked 1.5 to 2 miles to school and home again. We walked it.
It's not safe anymore to let children.
We walked in bunches, we were all
with all
together.
the cars that are on the road as well. I just saw this, and it's suitable kind of to what we're talking about.
Yeah, right.
He was actually paralyzed in a car accident that he caused himself, and he was talking actually recently about it. His friend died in the car crash, but he's a comedian. He's very funny.
Come on, Kathleen, get fuck! Come on, Kathleen!
What's going on?
The beast from the east is coming,
The
Kathleen!
what?
We're all gonna die, the beast from the east, Kat!
What?
The beast from the east!
I don't know.
Come on, and the Wonderman said we're all gonna die, Kathleen!
What?
We have to get home, we're gonna be locked away for weeks,
What's with all
Kathleen!
the bread?
To survive, Kathleen!
What?
We're gonna be covered in snow drifts!
What's bread going to do?
It'll help us all, Kathleen!
Help us what? I don't...
Survive, Kathleen, for fuck's sake, come on!
Michael, that's all well and good, but I can't eat gluten.
Why?
It's gluten-free!
Oh, for fuck's sake, Kathleen, then you deserve to die! She's saying the soldiers weren't there, see?
He's got a very good backstory. He was drinking very heavily in his younger years, and he was driving a car home one night, and a friend of his got into the car with him, and he crashed, and his friend was killed, and he was paralyzed, so he's never walked. But he goes, like, his friend's family have completely forgiven him and embraced him, and like he goes around talking about the dangers of drinking and driving. It's very funny. It's just the accent makes me laugh.
Yeah, and all the loaves of bread inside the car.
Gluten free, you deserve to die. So
Tony said, what is it about people buying a load of bread? Because it won't stay fresh. It won't stay fresh. That's the first
thing. In the freezer.
I mean, to me, not practical to buy loads and loads of bags of rice
and toilet rolls.
Because you can keep rice forever and cook it when you want it. You
can put the bread in the freezer.
Yeah, but
if you don't have a freezer, what you do?
If you don't have electricity, is no good, Joe.
I don't have a freezer.
If your electricity is gone, your freezer is gone as well.
Oh, yeah, that was a good thing that all the clever people with all stuff passed away. They had to get rid of it. Some people are very mean. They be buying things because they're cheap. And oh God, you never get to the bottom of some people. But it's great having to throw out their goods. It's great, I thought. Everything got weight belonged to them, and they had to dump it all. That's what they get for them.
Nasty.
But that is true. What people, only Joe Soaps don't have freezers. You're joking me.
They do, Tony. And some people who live on their own depend on buying things when they're at the shops. rather than going every single week or every single day to the shops.
You
They
should
go
be going every day. You should
for
be
a
going.
and
You
they
could see her.
and they use the freezer
No, my
to
wife
store
goes to the shop every day.
or they cook. Lots of people now are actually cooking one day in the week, and they're cooking enough for a week, and they're freezing it and then taking it out every morning so it's ready, or taking it out the night before and slow cooking it so
But
it's
that's
ready.
dangerous. That's
So
dangerous now, as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't like to be eating that now, to be honest with you.
no,
Stuff's going on
if
the
it's
freezer.
defrosted fully, if it's
Yeah.
defrosted fully, and you put it into the slow cooker and let it slowly cook for 8 hours until you get home from work, um,
But you
it's
mightn't feel like it then, which is done. Which
well,
is ready, you mightn't feel like eating that.
Yeah, the panel is a program here on nearmedia.tv. Tell all your friends about us. All our details at the bottom of the screen, our email and phone number, and feel free to contact us anytime you like. And this will be up on all our media and up on our YouTube channel afterwards. We've been, oh, you were awful, but I like you. Remember him, Dick Emery?
What can I get you, sir?
Big potato, cheese and beans. Oh, the last Pepsi.
I'll be £3.50.
There you go.
It's going to take a bit of a while. Bring it out to you. Where will you be sitting?
That's that is wrong clip, but that was just clip snagging of the Scottish accent. You know, he hadn't a clue. All he remembered her saying to him was the price and where you'll be sitting to bring down his order to him. It's just a play on a
I
different
normally
accent.
understand the Scottish accent. I hadn't a clue what she was saying,
Yeah.
apart from
But
the
they haven't a
price.
clue what we're saying either.
Huh?
They haven't a clue what we're saying, most of them.
No,
When we say
no.
something, they don't know what we're about.
Just
No,
nodding.
I don't agree with you, Tony. I think the Irish tend to speak much slower,
Well, they
unless
do.
of course you're up around Derry. I mean, Derry. I lots of colleagues that I know in Derry now, and I actually understand them.
No,
But if
Donegal accent is difficult.
themselves, they
Donegal have this,
very
yeah.
fast.
Donegal is one of the toughest.
And
I,
Donegal.
I was in school with a few people from Donegal. Even speaking Irish, when I speak Irish,
Yeah.
I couldn't get it. You know, I'd nod all right, but
Yeah.
I really couldn't. I just miss it. You just miss it. It's as simple as that, you know. But
I gave a talk a few years ago up in Donegal at a festival.
yeah,
And the first thing I said was that I said I have to start off now by saying because there was been 600 in the hall. The first thing I said was that I'm afraid I haven't a clue what you're all saying, and I'm sure you're all saying you haven't a clue what I'm going to say. So I said I'll talk very slowly. I'll talk very slowly. So right up in the top, up near Carndunna, I was.
yeah. Oh,
And
Canada. Oh, jeez.
the Inishowen Peninsula.
Yeah,
And it was a festival they had up there, and it was based on dancing in Ireland.
yes.
And that's how I was up there. God, it's about it's about 10 years ago now. But
Yeah.
like that, God, some of the Donegal's accents are very hot. Very
Oh,
hot.
my goodness me. It's
Yeah.
just.
Whereas
It's
Belfast
just-
is way slower altogether, you know. I
I
can
know
tell
that,
you.
Yeah, but
I don't-
if Derry people start to talk to Derry people, you might as well forget it and just go back to sleep, because you know you just don't, because they have a dialect as well that they seem to use that doesn't correlate at all with English
No.
or our understanding of English.
It's difficult, you know. Anyway, we'll move along anyway. What else should we discuss and talk about?
I
What
just
about Trump?
play
What about
this.
Trump? Trump is taking over the world.
You may talk about Atlantis, how it's lost beneath the sea, and the grave of the unknown soldier, or the cry of the old banshee.
County. Hopefully now we can go a step further at the weekend. it's going to be a big ask for us, you know. I mean, it's been 15 years since we came out of Ulster, and maybe over 20 since we've been even thinking about an All-Ireland final. So from that point of view, it's going to be a big ask for this group of players. But hopefully we can get back to the same levels that we were at on Wednesday night and work hard and you know.
I've had a few chances in the last couple of games at the back post, and the keeper's pulled off a couple of saves, and I was lucky enough today that I went in the end, and thank God we won. I think so, you know. I like to think I've come on a lot since the start of the season, but still have a lot to learn, and you know, playing with these players every week can always help.
You're all welcome to join the choir, but that means you have to move to Donegal, and that's fine. We'll invite you in for tea as they do in Donegal, but we don't know if we can actually provide accommodation. But anyway, so the other thing I've got about gospel music is that you have to do the offbeat clap, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. It's on the 2 and the 4, so let's practice that. Are you ready?
Seeking election to Buncrana Town Council. I'm a teacher in the town and I'm from the area. There are a number of key issues that I have identified in my local community, most notably the high unemployment rate and the necessity of a new education campus in Buncrana. If elected,
those who don't can go to hell. And here's to those who wish me luck. And here's to the woman who kisses her husband and kisses her husband alone. For there's many's a woman kissing another woman's husband when she should be kissing her own. And here's to the man who's rocking his child and rocking his child alone. For there's many's a man rocking another man's child and thinks he's rocking his own. I started off, you see, in this business many years ago.
You're welcome to beautiful Donegal, where there's the most beautiful scenery in all the world, and it has inspired so many songwriters to write such beautiful songs.
That was just some.
Yeah, they weren't the real guttural accents that you come across, you know.
They were very, very understandable.
Yeah, they are.
What's her name? They're at the end. You recognised her at the end there talking.
Who was she?
That's Freddie Gallagher.
Oh, there was a program on the other night on Friday Gallagher.
I did. I was on a few times in TG Carr, was it?
On her dresses, all the dresses she wore, her son and all. They have a museum.
That was her there. Cutting the Corn and Creeshla. That was her favourite song there. That's why Edwin Creeshla sending that.
But it's a very lyrical accent. I mean, when you listen to Daniel O'Donnell's accent, it's very
cultural.
It's very melodic.
He's not. He's very watching what he's saying now. He's talking very, very slowly.
That's but he always spoke like that. He always spoke like that. He's from. Miriam is from where Daniel is from. And
Creesa.
Huh?
Creesa.
No, he's not. Creesa's up in the top.
He's from. I can't remember the name of the place, but Kilcashler. But he's actually from an island just off. He's off.
No, he's not. Kilcashler isn't an island. That's inland. I know what it is. I was there. I
watched the documentary, or not the documentary, when his house was being done up by what's his name? I can't think of his name at the moment now offhand. Dermot Bannon, and they went over to this little island that his grandmother lived on and his mother lived on. There was no toilet in the house. They still have that. I'm not sure, is it in Shone or something, but it's a little island that's off where they're living now, and they go there all the time during the summer, and it's really just like a farmyard, or like a farm. No outside toilet or no inside toilet, no shower, nothing. Just.
He get a grant for that. He get a grant for that if he walked his head. Some politicians.
I'd say there's only about 5 people on the island.
Yeah, but they get a grant. Well, the islands get great grants.
Little island, and they want to keep it that way because they love it.
How could you keep that if you've no toilets? Look at me out of that.
They have outside toilets, and and they've added on a toilet onto it now, but they've kept it very much like it was when his mother was living there. I'll try and find out the name of it.
Anyway, you were saying what we were saying there, Tony, before we went into the bit of music.
I don't know.
Owie Island. Oe Island, Tony.
Only?
Oney Island. It's called. It's where Daniel O'Donnell house is. His house is in the Cliff House. Yeah, no, Oney Island.
Anyway, let him.
Owey. It's near Creesla.
Creesla.
Yeah, it's
Is he in Ireland? Creesla's very far away from him.
well, Owe Island is where his mother was from, and they still have the same house. And
He should get a grant, and he could do it.
It's tiny. You just walk in. It's like one of those old houses in Bunratty Folk Park. You just walk in, and you've got the turf fire, the sitting room basically with kitchen table, and it was
big open fire.
What was your man that was demoted last week? He was the minister before. What was his name? The fella from up in the top. He was with the funny name.
Charlie McConnell.
Yeah. Daniel should get on to him to get him a grant for that. He could put a roadway and all out there. You know?
Charlie McConnell. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
they don't want to change it, Tony. They don't want to change it. They love it the way it is.
I wouldn't believe it was that,
where she told her parents that she had cancer.
I wouldn't believe that. Did any saying that?
No, they go there and they can get away from everything, and they can just go onto the island, and her children and her grandchildren can come on the island.
Whose children? He's no children, is he, Daniel?
His wife has.
Oh yeah. She was married before, was she?
She was, yeah.
I'm surprised when he married her, to be honest with you. You know, she had children before.
Lovely.
You know.
She's lovely. Right? She's lovely, and she comes across as really steady and really normal.
Well, she's steady minding his money.
Absolutely. Oh, there's no doubt about that. Money is power. Yeah, money is power.
Yeah, but she doesn't come across as being. They don't live the lavish lifestyle. Doing up the house was. If you actually saw the episode of
most women are after power and money.
I'm telling you. It was like drawing. It was so funny because he didn't want to part with the money to do.
So mean. You're very mean.
He was quite happy with his home the way it was. It had everything that the other house in OE didn't have. It had four bathrooms. What did he need? As he said himself, I don't need any more than 4 bathrooms. Who needs more than 4 bathrooms?
Many children is she? She probably has got 6 or 8 children, is she?
Three, I think 3.
Yeah, you see, that's what they need the 4 bathrooms for. She brings the crowd out there, you know.
Yeah, well, no, not out there, Tony. In their own house. They did up their own house, and they did up the kitchen. There was a fabulous job done of it, and it was.
There was a place up there. Wasn't he refused planning permission? He was refused planning permission for. I think he wanted to open a hotel.
He did, yeah.
And this was his house.
There was something about planning permission.
Yeah.
We were bringing them all up for cups of tea. Such rubbish. Bringing them up for cups of tea.
I think it's lovely.
Nothing else to be doing. Look at we out of that. Cups of tea. Cup himself on.
I think it's lovely. There's too many people making money. There's too many people asking. There's too many people taking advantage of their fans. Their fans are making them millions, and they don't want to sign an autograph for them.
There's no young people.
He's making much of his fans, and that's why he has the longevity. Because he's kind to people.
He's kind because he's making money. I'd be very kind too. If you're giving me money, I'd be very nice.
They don't want to. The minute they're finished, they want to get home. They almost.
Past their bedtime. They should be in bed, most of them. They should be in bed at 7 o'clock, most of them anyway. So no wonder past their bedtime. They should be asleep.
I think he's great. I think he's fantastic.
I think he's a rogue.
No, I think he's fantastic. Very genuine.
I could say now, hello, it's lovely, Pat, to be on the program.
No one would believe you, Tony, that you were nice to anyone. They'd think there was something wrong.
I love
if you were nice to somebody, Tony, they'd think they were dying or you were dying.
I'm going to change from tonight, and I'm going to be very, very nice now.
It's impossible for you to change, Tony.
It wouldn't be now if you gave me money. And if you pay me money every week, I'll be very, very
Everyone
nice.
who knows you, Tony, knows that if you were nice to them, they were either dying or you were.
Panel the program here on Wednesday night on their media. Tell all your friends about us, and all the details are down at the bottom of the screen. And we pause for a bit of a laugh.
Hey, mate. Right. It's right here. That's right, my old darling. Stretch those pretty little legs of yours.
Yeah. What's the quickest way to the coast, mate?
Well, straight down the road, so you get to the roundabout.
Yeah.
Then turn right. Go down that road for about half a mile till you reach T junction.
Yeah.
Then turn left.
Yeah.
From there on, it's signposted.
Oh.
Should be right. It's pretty straight road down there.
Yeah. Nice day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite nice.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Okay, darling, jump on.
This must be my lucky day.
Here we come.
Yes, it's very nice. It's a lovely bit of carpet. I'm sure I can find somewhere in the house for it. I'll take it.
Good, that's settled.
How soon can I have it?
Well, if you're desperate, I can send a man round first thing in the morning.
Thank you.
The thing is, do you want it on the floor in the hall? Or would you rather have it upstairs in bed?
You are awful. But I like you.
I'll never get tired of Dick Emery. Never get tired of Dick Emery.
Somebody let him in over to America.
I would have. Why? Why would he be able to get in?
Is he a man or a woman?
Oh no, that was only a drag artist. You know?
He was a drag queen. He was very funny.
I saw him in the Savoy. I told you that before.
Yeah.
Mary Honan, why wouldn't you? Yeah.
No, I didn't like him when I was younger. My dad loved watching him.
I liked Dick Emery. When Savoy was full, was it?
It was. Packed.
Full house.
1,500 churches to seat.
There's a gig coming up in May, Tony, in the Lime Tree Theatre. Did you see that? The celebration of the Three Johnnies.
Charn is on this.
Johnny.
Come on, man. You never come on, Mary. You were telling me he was coming on with us. You never came on.
Johnny Doohan and John Kinney and who's the other fella?
Johnny Doohan and Johnny Feehan and John Kinney.
John Kinney and Johnny Feehan, yeah. So that'll be on in May. So pass the word around for people. I think it'll be packed out.
Oh yeah, it's Chaharan is organising it, isn't it?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Organised already. Most of
it.
You want to meet him again and ask him to come on and we talk about it, you know? We talk about it, you know?
Yeah, he sent me a message to say it was on.
Anyway.
But I'd say it'll be what's coming up in the Limerick Historical Society this week and next week?
That's for 2 weeks. On the 21st, we have a lecture. And
21st of February.
21st of February, on a Friday the 21st.
And where's that on?
Well, the hall we're using now above the Redemptorist Hall. It's a fine hall, it is, and it's heated and it's very comfortable in there.
Above the Redemptorist Hall for people in Limerick, above beside it. Yeah.
You can park in the car park, you see, very handy.
And what's it about, the lecture?
Well, I have to wait now and find out. We'll talk about it next week.
No,
well, I know what I have in my mind.
I'll put a picture up if you want.
Oh, yeah.
About, in relation to it.
The Limerick Historical Society.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, we had good attendance. Last we did a lecture now 2 weeks ago, which was very good. All about the buying and building of Sarsfield Barracks.
Oh.
And about the land and about everything about it. You know, he was very good to us. And I can't think of his name now at this minute. I know him well. He's a member of the system, but he gave a good talk. He's giving the same talk in Tulla, actually. He's in 2 weeks' time. Out in Tulla. He was
about the building of Sarsfield Barracks in Limerick, is it?
Some great facts about the soldiers up there and, you know, how before the Irish Army took it over, the British Army had it. It was always known as the new barracks. And that's a word that 99% of Irish people call it a barracks. It's a barracks.
Do you know, Tony, there's the Limerick Main Historical Society as well.
Oh, I do. I do.
In Maine.
Yeah.
wouldn't it be worth making contacts with the Limerick Main
Would
Historical
it?
Society
Would
and
it?
maybe, what's the word, twinning with them?
Such
So
a
you could
twinning.
do some Zoom lectures. Someone from there could actually zoom in and lecture at the Limerick.
Well, I mean, to be a conflict really, so that, you know, I mean, I don't know.
I think it would be lovely, to twin with Maine and the Limerick Maine Historical Society, and just
One time,
have
the
people
the
there.
Olympics, they had all these signs up. Limerick one time was twinned with Quimper in France. Do you remember?
Kimper, yeah.
That was all kind of done away with. What they're looking for is free
Compare.
junkets.
Compare.
They were job with Spokane in America, and that got it. They didn't as well. Once they got a junket out of it, then there were all these signs put up around Ireland. Every town you went into, this town is twinned with Kazakhstan
Yes.
or
Yeah.
Tajikistan, and terrible rubbish. I remember seeing that some town.
Shannon was twinned with some place in France as well for a while, you know.
Terrible rubbish.
And
They'll be all set up. It's like going over digging up Sarsfield. It's a terrible rubbish, you know.
there'll be information on that very soon because it's gone away for DNA testing now. The
But that's only
bones.
another junket again. That'll send that. They were already out there, a lot of the council.
Well,
No Sarsfield, we looked in the window.
The skeleton that they found out this time is the physical fits the physical size of Patrick Sarsfield himself, and so they're hoping with the DNA to match it up with his relations. You know, the DNA
He's
with
a cousin
that.
of a cousin of a cousin. That's ridiculous. Really, only junket. You know, as far as I'm concerned.
Tony, Limerick City is currently twinned with Quimper,
Quimper.
in Brittany, France, France and Spokane, and Washington State in the USA.
Yeah.
And
That means nothing to me. Means
and
nothing to me. Do nothing for me anyway. Didn't buy me a cup of tea.
Spokane.
Oh, carry on. All they did was they can get all the city manager and the city thing and all go out in the junket and the plane. They stay for about a week. And
Galway is twinned with Qingdao, China, Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada, and Stirling in Scotland.
Terrible rubbish, you know. I couldn't care less about all them, you know. I really couldn't care less. They mean nothing to most. It's pointless even talking about them now because people don't. If we stop people in the street,
I think we would be better off. We'd be better off twinning with some place in Britain because of the Irish diaspora. You know.
Look, if we should be twinned with Ballybunion or somewhere, you know, to be nicer.
But Brittany is a good place to be twinned with because we're Celts.
What good did it do?
Because Brittany is a Celtic country, and it's a good means. It's a good means of having a relationship with another country where you travel to their country.
Who's
and
going to travel?
You bring your some of your.
I travel.
I remember when I was dancing in these countries and everything, the amount of similarities that you could see, but you'd never know was there only for you actually got to travel.
The internet there, give you all the similarities. That's all you want.
You can see the similarities in dance, in music, I mean, you look at, for instance, I was looking the other day, and I think it's magnificent.
And Facebook,
if you listen to the Our Father sung in Aramaic. And the Pope was in Georgia. Will you listen, Tony?
What do I want to know Aramaic for? I have no notion of going there. I'm not one bit interested. I'll say to your father, as I was told it. I thought he'd go to school.
The point I'm making is the similarity between the Our Father in Aramaic, Gregorian chant in Ireland, and the call to prayer in Islam. And when you look at the same similar music in Judaism and in other religions, the same in the Baha'i faith and all of that, the similarity of singing without music and this meditative sound And you never know that if you don't get out of your own little bubble, Tony.
Mary, how many people in Limerick now? To be honest, how many people in Limerick now would listen to that? Would you say?
Well, I don't know, Tony. There's hundreds of thousands of people have watched.
Mary, I meet more people than you now. I meet more people in a week than you'd meet in a month, right?
I know I'm a hermit and a recluse.
Yeah, right? So I'm out there and I'm talking to people. With the Historical Society, we've over 200 members. And like that, they wouldn't, I can tell you now, they wouldn't be one bit interested in Aramaic or in all this Jehovah stuff or whatever you're talking about. They don't have any music, all those faiths. Has the Baha'is any music except that and tambourines, is it? Hare Krishna.
There's a Persian music, yeah. The Persian tradition, if you ever listen to it on the radio or online, it's wonderful music. Wonderful.
But you think that you're all living in your own little bubble, and then suddenly you see something and you say, my God, that's so like Gregorian chant, or it's so like, and you realize the similarities that between nations and between can come out simply in the music, Tony. And I mean, it's astonishing, really.
What's the callers are getting back together again? What's the heavy rock crowd are having the concert during the summer as well? Can't think of their names. Joe Elliott is with them. They're having the concert doing heavy metal.
Def Leppard.
Who?
Def Leppard.
Def Leppard. They're getting back together again during the summer. I'd rather hear them now than a Gregorian chant. It'd be better.
Well, it's all relative to people's tastes, Tony. I mean, when you actually listen to the Aramaic, the Our Father in Aramaic, I mean, you actually realize that is the language that Jesus Christ spoke.
No.
I mean, and when you listen to it, you feel, even if you're not spiritual, if you look at the comments on it, there's Buddhists, there's Muslims, there's Christians, there's Coptics, there's every nationality, the atheists who are affected by it. Here's a little bit of it anyway.
Oh, jeez, leave us alone.
I mean, that's only a little bit of it.
That was a section for people looking in of the Our Father in the original language spoken by Jesus Christ in Aramaic.
See, I said the Pope was saying, Jesus, why did they let me into this? His head out.
Oh, no, Tony.
Said,
I mean,
he was said,
if you actually sat down
How do you know what the Pope was thinking?
If you actually sat down and closed your eyes and listened to that, or you listened
to handbag,
or you listened.
Was that Debbie's Rousas in the middle there? I thought it was him.
Or you listen to the call to prayer in Islam, or you listen to any meditative music without really music in the background where the voice
call to prayer. It's like fucking Tarzan and Jungle.
Rory.
Go away.
Oh, Tony, I thought...
You want to start taking your tablets?
Yeah, we've come to the end. We've come to the end of another edition of the panel here, and we don't mean to be irreverent to anybody. We're just having a laugh, lads. Don't take it too seriously.
I'm not being irreverent to anybody. This is the man, Mr. Irreverent.
For this edition, from Mary Honan, from Tony Browne, who'll be going on his prayer mat after this, definitely, you know.
He's in his neck.
And we'll see you next week.
I'm telling you, Tony, there's no atheists in foxholes.
Oh, jeez, you wanted to keep taking the tablets to England.
Take care, guys, and we'll see you next week.
This is Rare Media. To whom it concerns, welcome to the panel.